Hello and welcome to the fourth round of this year's AMS Formula One World Championship, the prestigious Monaco Grand Prix. Now this is going to be a tough race for the drivers here today, as the track is held on the streets of Monaco, which are very tight and twisty, making it near impossible to overtake. This race is going to be a race of attrition, making it to the end of the race is going to be just as hard as winning. To finish first you must finish. Now, winning here not only earns you 10 points, but also one of the 3 wins you need to earn the highest accolade in most sports, the Triple Crown. Of course, you would still need to win the Indy 500 and the famous and equally grueling Le Mans 24 Hours. The most successful driver to date at Monaco is the late great Graham Hill, who is also the only driver to have actually won the Triple Crown. Now, as I said before, winning and overtaking is going to be very tough, so grid position is key. So, as the mechanics make the final checks on the cars on the grid, let's have a look at the qualifying results from yesterday. Having expressed to me how much he dislikes this track, Sly Sinful has managed to put his Ferrari V12 on pole position with a time of 1 minute 22. And it seems like a track for the Ferraris, as teammate Prost lines up alongside him. The first of the Benettons leads the second row with Schumacher, and he has the champion Senna to his right. The second Benetton of Piquet sits behind his teammate in 5th, and a stunning performance from Capelli to put his Leighton House in 6th. Nakajima is 7th, and the second McLaren of Berger only managing 8th. The 2 Brabhams of Blundell and Brundle follow in 9th and 10th respectively. Now it seems the 2 Williams cars have trouble finding space on the track to put in a fast time, as Mansell only manages 11th with Martini in 12th and Patrese in 13th. Boutson finishes up the 7th row. Row 8 is Herbert and Bernard. Row 9 is Morbidelli and Hakkinen. Row 10 has De Cesaris and Comas. Row 11 is Suzuki and Gujomin, and at the back is Alboreto in 23rd and Cafe in 24th and last. Now unfortunately, Gachot in his Jordan and Modena in the Tyrrell didn't make the 107% rule, so they won't be starting today's race. Now that we're all caught up on qualifying, let's head down to the grid for the start of the race. Okay, so engines revs, lights out, and away we go! Good start by Sinful as he leads into the first turn. Nakajima and Capelli and Senna look to take it 3 wide, and it looks like Schumacher has beat Prost at the start and is now up into second. Senna and Capelli side by side as they head into Massenet. Oh, a slight tap and Senna is through before Casino. He's hot on the heels now of Nakajima's Tyrrell. So your top 6 are Sly Sinful is in first with Schumacher in second. Alain Prost is third with Nelson Piquet in 4th. Nakajima in 5th, and we have Ayrton Senna in 6th. Championship leader Nigel Mansell, along with his teammate, has managed to jump one other car at the start, but still outside the points in 10th and 11th. Prost now, as he screams through the tunnel and down to the Nouvelle chicane, just isn't close enough to be a threat to Schumacher at this point in time. Back with Senna now as he's trying to find a way past Tyrrell of Nakajima into the swimming pool as there's still no way past. Can he make a move into Raskas? No, but now onto the straight, and Senna's McLaren has to have the speed over the Tyrrell, surely. Oh, and now we have a replay of Mansell. He's up close to Blundell's rear end through the tunnel, down to Nouvelle chicane. He looks to the inside. Oh, there's not enough room, and he's hit the inside barrier. This has gone from bad to worse for the points leader. I can't see any damage on Mansell's car, but he does seem to be going slower. Holding up those behind. And yes, as he heads into the pits, oh, what a horrible start for the race for Mansell. Now back with the action, and Senna is still trying to find a way past Nakajima. Through the Grand Hotel hairpin and down towards Portier, there is still nothing between them. If Senna can get a good run through the tunnel and be alongside the Tyrrell going into the Noval chicane, maybe he can do a better job of overtaking that than Mansell. But no, he decides that maybe the move is too risky and stays behind Nakajima for now. Maybe thinking a better chance will present itself on another part of the track. Out of the final corner and onto the front straight now to start another lap, stuck behind the Tyrrell. Again, Nakajima goes defensive and blocks any move by Senna. We're up with the leader now, Sinful. He has managed to pull out a 4.2 second gap over Schumacher. As Sinful heads towards the hotel hairpin, we can just see Mansell exiting Mirabeau Pass. Oh, and a slight tap of the wall there by Sinful. Let's hope he hasn't done any damage to his car. Many more like that, and he certainly will. Through the Noval chicane, and the car seems to be okay. He's lucky, as I've seen many a slight tap end the driver's race, yeah. Out of the final corner and on to start another lap. Now, if Sinful can keep it out of the walls and maintain the gap to Schumacher, this race could be his. But there's still a long way to go yet, and, well, anything can happen. With Berger now, who's still in 8th place, and he is desperately trying to get past Capelle's Leighton House. As they go up the hill, we can see that Senna is still stuck behind Nakajima ahead. And with Berger unable to get past Capelle, it just goes to show what I was saying about the importance of a good qualifying position. And now we're back with Mansell running last. Such a shame. But if he can make it to the end on those tyres, could jump quite a few places in the pit stop. But he really needs to get the hammer down now and catch those ahead of him. Beautiful onboard shots now as we come through Saint-Devote with Mansell and we head up the hill. From this onboard view, you can really see just how close and daunting those walls are, and just how little room there is. Into the hotel hairpin and down to first gear. This is the slowest corner in Formula 1. Just listen to that engine roar as we come through the tunnel and head on down to the Noval chicane. Such a beautiful symphony of tiny explosions coming out of that V10 Renault. And now back to the Senna and Nakajima fight, and Senna still can't find a way past. He really is being held up by the Tyrrell, as Piquet, who's in 4th place, is a full 6 seconds up the road now. Full credit to Nakajima for being able to hold up the McLaren for this long. It helped somewhat by the tightness of the track, of course. And still Nakajima goes defensive into Sandoval, and still Senna can't seem to get past him. Now, of course, we all know Senna has a cool head on his shoulders, and isn't one to make any silly moves, but if that was me, I'd be looking to give that Tyrrell a slight nudge to move him out of the way. The old bump and run, if you will. But then these cars are quite fragile, and a move like that could end the race for both of them. Now, if the running order stays the same, Senna is on for 1 point, not as many as he'd want or that the team would expect, but consistency is the key in Formula 1, and anything can happen. But with Prost now as he tries to stay in touch with Schumacher in front. The gap now stands at just over 2 seconds. It seems like again he doesn't have Sinful's pace in his Ferrari, but maybe he's saving his tyres to go longer and hope to overcut Schumacher in the pits. Now with Patrese, as he seems to find himself in a Brabham sandwich, he can't find a way past Blundell. Now after seeing what happened to his teammate when he tried to pass, and Blundell's tomfoolery in the last race, I'm sure Patrese is cautious to overtake, but still sitting in 10th place and way out of the points, he is not doing his championship's hopes any good, and I'm sure his Williams team is not enjoying his performance today either. I must say it's quite strange to see them all running 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, only let down by Boutson not being close enough to Herbert's Lotus. Out of the tunnel now, and there is absolutely nothing between them. Not sure if Patrese could get any closer without actually hitting him. Being able to run so close to each other on such a narrow track really is a testament to the skill of these Formula 1 drivers. Back with the leader Sinful now, and you can see the gap he has over Schumacher, a full 7 seconds. I just hope he isn't pushing his car too far. To win this race, he has to finish this race. That was more curb than racetrack right now. And with Schumacher now, and you can see that Prost hasn't completely lost touch with him just yet. But unfortunately, as each lap goes by, they are slowly losing touch with Sinful. Now as we are only approaching the halfway point, there is still plenty of time to catch him. If Sinful comes out of his pit stop in traffic and Schumacher doesn't, Schumacher will be on his tail as quick as you like. Right now it's just about ticking down the laps and making a clean pit stop. And I believe those pit stops should be coming very soon. Now, although Prost isn't right up behind Schumacher, he certainly isn't out of contention for the win. Monaco is a cruel, cruel racetrack where anything can happen at any moment and the race could be turned on its head in a blink of an eye. Heading into Rascasse now, and the Ferrari mechanics are in the pit lane, and yes, Prost is diving in to make his stop. Let's hope his team can turn him around quickly and get him out into some clean air. Now obviously Sinful stayed out, and so did Schumacher it seems, and as we just saw in the background there, Piquet is now up to 3rd place. Schumacher has managed to close the gap to 5.6 seconds now, so I wonder if Sinful will be heading into the pits too at the end of this lap. Heading into the Noval chicane, and Sinful doesn't seem to be suffering from tyre wear right now. Oh, but he makes a slight touch to the wall again as he enters the swimming pool section, and a little live layer coming out of it. Maybe he does have tyre wear and he will pit this lap. Into Raskas, and no, he's carrying on. That tap didn't seem to affect the car. That Ferrari are made of tougher stuff, it seems. But Schumacher is pitting this time around, hoping to maybe get the undercut on Sinful here. And that promotes Piquet up to 2nd place as we cut back to Sinful. Oh, a bit of opposite lock there as he comes through Massenet. Did he make a mistake by staying out? And even more as he exits Casino and taps the wall. I hope this tap haven't done any damage. Locking up as he comes through the hotel hairpin. Not sure if the tyre wear or if it's damage. It doesn't look like any damage, but I expect he'll be diving into the pits at the end of this lap. Taking a lot of curb there as he comes out of the swimming pool. Now I hope this lap hasn't cost him too much time over Schumacher. And yes, he's into the pits now. Where is Schumacher? He's just coming out of the Noval chicane and into the swimming pool section. It's going to be close, I think. Prost is still within a stone's throw, so Sinful could lose 2 places if he doesn't get a good exit from the pits. Out of the last corner and onto the straight. Where's Sinful? He's out of the pits and still ahead of Schumacher. That's not what the young German wanted to see, I'm sure. But on the bright side, the gap is a lot smaller than it was before the pit stop, so it's not over yet. Now with all these pit stops, that has put Piquet into the lead. Not sure how such a late pit stop is going to help him, unless he's not planning to stop at all. His pace compared to the others throughout this race would suggest that he would need to make a pit stop, but you never know in Formula 1. And now with points leader Mansell, who, if things stay the same, will still hold the lead in the championship after the race. But he's certainly unlikely to be adding to his total, as he's currently sitting in 20th place. His move on Blundell earlier was certainly a very optimistic move, and one that was unlikely to succeed, so he really only has himself to blame for his position. This is certainly turning out to be a race to forget for the Williams driver. Up with Piquet now in the lead, and he has a 10-second lead over 2nd place Sinful. He certainly doesn't seem to have any tyre issues, and he is keeping a steady gap to 2nd place. Maybe he is trying to go all the way. He certainly has the track position, and the chasing pack not only has to make up the 10 seconds, but pass him as well. This could turn out to be a very smart move by the 3-times champ. Or a very costly mistake that only time will tell. Senna now, who's in 5th place, having passed Nakajima, who's already pitted, as he heads into the pits himself. I'm sure his team will want to get him back out ahead of Nakajima. And Patrese now, who after the pit stop shuffle has managed to get up to 8th. Still 2 places out of the point, and unfortunately he still has to pit himself. So it's going to be a very sorry day for the Williams team all around. Through Massenet and into Casino Square, you can see Berger still tangling with the Leyden house just up ahead. Having previously won here in 82, I don't think Patrese has much chance here today. Berger still stuck behind the Leyden house of Capelle. He must be getting very tired of seeing the back of that car by now. Now I'm sure some of you are thinking, all he has to do is overtake him, but on this track it is very much easier said than done. And as Berger dives into the pit stop to make his only stop for the day, closely followed by Patrese. And back with the leaders, and PK seems to have been held up by a much slower footwork of Alex Cafe, which has allowed Sinful to catch right up. That 10-second lead has vanished in only a matter of few corners. Oh, and PK has collided with the other footwork trying to lap him. Sinful gets past Alboreto with ease and is right on PK's tail. Now it's one thing to be right up behind him, but as we've seen all over the racetrack today, it's another to overtake. Out of the Novelle chicane, and Sinful is looking to where he can make a move on PK. And Sinful runs terribly close to the guardrail, coming through the swimming pool section, bouncing over the curbs. Is he trying a little bit too hard? And PK is in the pits, and he's handing the lead back to Sinful, whose closest rival in second still has to pass one, if not both, footwork cars. Now, did PK pick up some damage with that coming together with Alboreto, or was this his scheduled pit stop? And as we can see, Schumacher is still stuck behind both footworks, which is allowing Sinful to pull away. Now, as I've said, it's very hard for slower cars to get out of the way here. And Cafe does the right thing and pulls to one side in Massenet and lets both Benetton and the Ferrari through. But they still have the other footwork of Alboreto to deal with, and all that time the leader is getting away. Schumacher needs to make short work of these footworks in order for him to be able to get after Sinful. And Schumacher tags Alboreto in exactly the same place as his teammate, and they run side by side into the tunnel. Not much Alboreto could do there, as that really isn't the passing point. He must be getting sick and tired of those Benettons. Out of the tunnel, and Prost has managed to get past too. Now we believe PK picked up a little bit of damage with his tussle with the footwork. Now is Schumacher's car okay, one wonders? It seems okay, but this really is Prost's chance to pounce. Well, Schumacher is staying out, so if he does have any damage, it can't be bad enough to give up track position. And now with Mansell, who is still trying to get past the Ligier of Eric Kamar, fighting it out in 21st place. What a dreadful day it's been for him. One he will definitely want to forget in a hurry. He must just be begging for this race to be over. Poor chap. Back with the leader now as he looks to take the back marker. And oh, I say, the Leyden house of Gujamin just turned into him. Gujamin had plenty of room to the outside, and he can't say he didn't see Sinful up the inside. Let's hope he doesn't hold anyone else up. Luckily he gets it going again and doesn't get into anybody else's way. It doesn't seem to have affected Sinful in any way, as he is still setting a fast pace out front. From this angle you can see the lead he has over the second place, Schumacher's Benetton not even in shot. And as Sinful enters the tunnel, Schumacher is just now coming through the hotel hairpin, a full 10 seconds behind. Unfortunately for Ferrari, it seems Prost was not able to capitalise on the incident between Schumacher and Alboreto, and unfortunately he still sits in third place. Schumacher looks to be pulling away even. Unless something drastic happens, Ferrari's dream of a 1-2 finish is going to be spoilt by Schumacher. Senna now, who has made it out of the pits ahead of Nakajima, and is hot on the heels of Piquet's Benetton. But with only 2 laps to go, I don't believe he has enough time to catch and then pass his fellow Brazilian. And speaking of Nakajima, wow, what a race this man has been having. He's been running in the top 6 all day, and he was only passed by Schumacher in the pits. He's on course to score his first ever World Championship point if things stay the same, but he has to fend off the attacks by Berger in order to do so. Should be a fairly easy move for Nakajima to get past the back marker of Cafe going into Sainte Vaute. Cafe has plenty of room to pull left and allow both cars to go through. Wow, Cafe slamming the door shut there, going into turn 1. He had plenty of room to let the Tyrrell and the McLaren through, but chose instead to block Nakajima. Absolutely crazy driving there. Thankfully, he pulls to one side in Massenet, and both Nakajima and Berger can get past and on with their race. Absolute massive lockup there by the Leighton house as Nakajima closes on the back of Alboreto. Is he going to be an easier pass than his teammate? And again Alboreto gets hit in the side going into that corner. That really is a bad luck corner for Michele Alboreto today. Good grief. Through the tunnel now and down to the Noval chicane. He isn't quite close enough to make a move, and he has Berger filling up his mirrors and, well, almost his exhaust pipe. Out of Noval chicane, Nakajima looks to the inside at the back, but thinks better of it. All 3 are stuck together like glue coming through the swimming pool. Not many places through here for Alboreto to get out of the way, unfortunately, and all the time Nakajima has Berger behind him trying to make a move. And still Alboreto holds them up coming through the last corner. And now we're back with the leader Sinful, as he's coming out of the Noval chicane for the last time. It would be absolutely terrible for his car to break down now, as he has surely got one hand on the trophy. Just a few more corners, he seems to have backed off to just bring the car home and take the checkered flag to win the Monaco Grand Prix. And out of the final corner, and it's a win for the Englishman. Fantastic drive and a well-deserved win for the young Ferrari driver. Schumacher comes home in second and Prost in the other Ferrari is third. He just didn't seem to have the speed for Schumacher today, or maybe he just decided that third is better than putting it into the wall. And here we are, Nakajima out of the back and into the swimming pool. Berger looks to have dropped off the back of him. He looks like he has done enough. Through the swimming pool section and up into the Raskas. Just one more corner to go. And he's done it. Satoru Nakajima comes home in a well-earned 6th place to score his first ever points in Formula 1 and the first for Tyrrell this year. And this is not a sight you see every day. Nigel Mansell bringing his Williams home in 21st place. How disappointing today has been for both him and his team. And here once again is the winner, Sly Sinful, doing a few celebratory burnouts for the fans. What a drive by him today. No one else seemed to have an answer for his pace, and he takes his second win of the year in only his first year in Formula One. Quite remarkable, one must say. Well, despite the lack of overtakes, that was an interesting race nonetheless. So here is your final results. Sinful takes the win and he gets 10 points for his efforts. Schumacher is second, Prost third, Piquet home in fourth, Senna in fifth, and a fantastic drive sees Nakajima in sixth. Now let's see what those results has done to the championship standings. With Mansell's woeful finish and Sinful's win, that put both of them in equal first position with 24 points. Prost moves up to third with 13, Piquet moves to fourth with 11 points, Patrese drops to fifth with 10 points, sixth is Senna with 9 points, Schumacher is seventh with 7 points, Berger is eighth with 2 points, and De Cesaris and Nakajima sit in ninth with 1 point apiece. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was today's race. A few scraps and a few scratches, and possibly a few bruises. I hope you enjoyed today's race, and I sincerely hope you will join me for round 5 of the 1991 AMS Formula One World Championship. Until then, have a great day, and goodbye.